Hey guys, it's Coach Melody here. Hey, I just wanted to have a little bit of a talk with you guys. I just decided I should use some lives on my page, on this page that I created. I do lots of lives on my regular Facebook, but I haven't done any really, I think, on this one. So anyways, here I am doing a live, and I'm not going to wait for anybody to get on because this will be posted on the page, and we'll just go from there. So what I really wanted to talk to you guys about was our Habits of Health podcasts. Have you guys listened to these? They're amazing. So like they're on Wednesday nights, 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific, right? So what these are these Habits of Health podcasts. They go through one of the habits of the week. We have a newsletter or like a Habits of Health thing that goes out weekly to the coaches send to their clients. And so each one of them has a habit of the week. And so this week's habit, last night, I think it was Lisa Castro. So Lisa Castro did the Habits of Health last night. And so that's where I fell in love with this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been a coach for 3 years. I've just renewed my coaching for the third year. And I've never utilized these, you guys. Oh my gosh, I got so much information, and it was amazing. And so I just wish they didn't take like up to 48 hours to post because I wanted to listen to it again. So Lisa was on last night, and she was talking about like playing above the line. And what that means is, like when you play above the line, you're like challenging yourself, right? To think differently. So instead of like shrieking back to like, well, I can't do this because, this happened and this happened and this happened, so I'm going to blame everything on there. So because my boss was being a jerk that day, like, you know what? I just drove through Taco Bell, and I was like, I was so mad. I was so stressed out, so I just had Taco Bell. When you could take it and turn it around and say something like in your own head, wow, it sucks that he was such a jerk today. I wonder what's going on in his life. Maybe he's got some, stress going on at work, and I'm going to pray for him instead of, getting mad. And, I'm not going to go and do something dumb because that's not going to serve me if I go through Taco Bell when I'm trying, because I might be on that optimizing plan of the 5-in-1, regardless, you guys, Taco Bell just isn't good for you, period. I know if I ever eat it, I feel like my skin swells up and I'm just like, my system's a wreck. So I don't even like to venture that way anymore. Plus, I think they put something in there that makes you like addicted to going back. And I don't do Taco Bell anymore. So anyways, back to playing above the line. So you can choose the thoughts that are in your head. So if you are like thinking of something and somebody's made you mad, or you're standing in the refrigerator and you're looking at it going, I'm bored. Oh, look. Oh, I forgot that was in there. Oh, look, there's a piece of cake. Oh, no one's going to notice if I eat that cake. Then I'll just take a bite. If that's going in your head, and then you end up, going into it and eating the whole piece of cake, or making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or whatever your thing is. When you open up the refrigerator door, listening to that chatter in your head as you're standing there, and talk to yourself out loud and think to yourself, like I would say something like, Melody, you're not even hungry. Why are you standing in front of the refrigerator? You don't need anything out of there. Get a glass of water, go fold some laundry, go take a walk, go talk to your husband, go play with the dog, go ride your bike, call a couple clients, check in with your support team, check in with your coach, do something. Call out that chatter and say, it's really interesting that you're standing in front of the refrigerator and you're not even hungry. Like, what are you expecting to accomplish? Why are you tempting yourself if, there's no reason for you to do this? Just shut the refrigerator and walk away. Play above the line. Live out loud. Live and think about what you're doing, and just do things a little bit differently. That's playing above the line. So that was a really cool podcast. And so like another one they had the other week. Oh, and the other thing is, so you got your podcast, they are recorded. So if you're not on live, which being on live is just, you can, interact on the whole webinar and everything. So you can talk to other people on there. It's really cool. But they are recorded, and so they are posted audio-wise in podcasts within 48 hours. And then they're also posted on YouTube. And so you can see the webinar. You can't interact. Now, of course, you can't interact anymore on the webinars on the YouTube, but you can always go back to them. So while I was driving today at work, and I had some dead time because my truck's loud, I can't really do any, people can't hear me when I'm talking to them. So I don't even try during that time because, I want to be able to, if I'm talking to my clients, I want to be able to sit down and write down what's going on in their life. And I can't do that while I'm driving. I would get into an accident. So I don't do that. But so I listened to, maybe 5 or 6 podcasts today. And it was so cool because like each one I listened to, I thought, oh my gosh, that one would be awesome. I'm going to send that one to this client because this sounds like totally what she was talking to me about the other day. She was struggling with, or he was struggling with this. And so I make a note. And then like while I'm listening to podcasts, I can also, while I'm at my stop, of course not while I'm driving, I can go on to it and hit to share button and then just share it directly to them. Hey, I thought you'd love to hear this. This sounds like what we were talking about the other night. And then I go back to listening. So that was really cool. So they had on emotional eating was one. So Shirley Mast was on there and she was talking a lot about that, a lot of the chatter and stuff that goes on in our head and why people eat. They eat to celebrate. They eat when they're stressed. We celebrate everything with food, everything. And, we have to really start to think about that in our brain, about when we're rewarding ourselves. I mean, we're not dogs, you guys. We don't have to reward each other with food. So just looking at your triggers, like why you, go to eating something, what's your reason? Like, did somebody make you mad? And, I know I would get the things like sometimes when I go and eat things that I'm not supposed to eat, because believe me, you guys, the coaches, we are right there with you. We're on the same journey as you. We're coaches, but we're also clients and we still have our own struggles. So when I catch myself doing something stupid, I really in my head, I think, oh, well, nobody's home. They're not going to know. And so in order for me to play above the line on something like that, I go into my coaching group and I confess it. Guess what I did today? Why did you do that? I don't know, but I have to let somebody know because I need some accountability, obviously, and then they're like, well, reach out into the group when that's happening. Before you reach for that, reach in here. So that's one other thing, so that that was the emotional eating. And then Gwen Peterson and Jan Paxman did one, and that was on your tribe, your journey, your tribe. And that's all about community. And that's about the same thing. Like when you're struggling, you guys, all of your coaches should have a private Facebook group that you're in. And if you're on here, you're on Facebook. And if you're not connected into a private Facebook community, maybe, I don't know why your coach would forget to, but reach out to your coach and see if they have one. And you know what? If they don't have one, then maybe their coach's coach has had one. My husband's working on stuff. There goes the generator, the air compressor. Sorry. So just the community, like when you're struggling, you guys reach out with a text to your coach or to your, you know what? I'm gonna go shut the door so that that's not so obnoxious. Hold on. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm back. That's a little better. So, like when you are struggling, reach out into your community. Reach out and send a text like that says, oh my gosh, you guys, like what did Gwen say that one of her people in her group was like, oh, they texted in there, because her coach wasn't available. Somebody help me, I'm in this bathroom stall. The people at, my family doesn't understand. They want me to go off plan. They want me to just do this one meal. That's not where I want to be. And she said that her community just like exploded around this post of these people just helping her out. And that's what we do, you guys. We build ourselves up by building others up. So that's why, I became a coach. This is, like I said, I just renewed my 3rd year. So if I wouldn't have gotten involved in coaching and I would have just looked at this like it's a diet, I wouldn't probably be still at my goal weight. My community around me, I have like all these brand new friends, that are all health coaches, and we're all on the same journey, and we go to events together, and we go hiking together. We go, to lunches, things together after events. We have a really good time together, and we support each other. And sometimes that's helping, another client out. It's sending like some encouragement. Of course, we're not going to coach anybody else's client, but we're going to definitely refer them to their coach or refer them to a different part of the community, such as the free nutritional support. That's a great resource if you guys have not checked that out. Oh, and I forgot, another podcast was on emotional eating, and was it that one? But it was this guy named Nick Fry, and he's the behavioral specialist at Take Shape for Life. Do you guys know we have behavioral specialists too that are free to you? Free, you guys. So the company compensates us to support you. You have free nutrition support. You have doctors and nurses support calls. You got the habits of health support calls. You got the community. You have all this stuff around you. And I don't know if you know that. If you don't know that, check it out. Get connected with your coach. If you don't have a coach and you're just looking into Optavia, I'm always looking to help new people too. So shoot me a message. If I look like somebody that you want to work with, shoot me a message. If you have a friend who you're looking into and that's who you want to work with, shoot them a message. We're not, we're out here trying to share our gift and help to equip you with the tools that you're going to need for the rest of your life, right? So just reach out. Think about why you're doing this. It shouldn't. It can be about a size, but that's a diet. It can be about a weight, but that's a diet. It has to be deeper than that. It has to be what's in here, like what gets you ticking, what are your goals in life? One of my goals is I want my husband to be able to stay home. I don't want to push him around in a wheelchair because he blows out his knees. The jobs that he does as a cabinet builder, they're strenuous. And, his knees start to hurt. I don't want to work my whole life and then not have him enjoy his. You know what I mean? So there's different whys. And so becoming a coach has also equipped me to move forward on that journey. Another thing about being a health coach is we all think, there's certain jobs that are secure, government jobs, union jobs. Well, I work for a trucking company for UPS, and I just saw a video where they have drones on the top of the truck. Now, those are for rural areas and stuff, and so they're not probably going to really affect me. But you know what? They're already starting to replace us with machines. And then they have these cars that drive themselves, and they're already talking about, using freight, like trucks that drive themselves. Now, this is not that's not that far down the line. So the job security that we think we have, it's really not there. So your best bet is to look further down the road, you guys. Look down the road. What does your horizon look like? Do you have something out there? Have you created something for yourself and for your family? Things happen. What if I got into an accident or something and I couldn't use my legs anymore? Well, I can't really deliver for UPS that way. And if I didn't get injured on the job, I got a disability, which doesn't pay anything. So it's just thinking outside the box and just plan your future, you guys. That's all I can say. If any of this stuff sounds good to you, share my video if you want. I would love it. If you want to talk to me, that'd be great too. But I really just want to give this gift out to whoever wants it. And whether that's, if if you see this gift that I'm giving to you and you're already working with your coach has this gift too. Okay? So this is not exclusively something that I have. This is something that our company is offering. So, reach out, stay connected to your community, utilize all your resources that are free, you guys, your podcasts, the YouTube if you want to watch them, the live ones, the doctors and nurses support calls, nutrition support, behavioral support, the Facebook groups, your free health coach, the fuelings, the habits of health system. We have the whole package, guys, the whole thing. It's all there. It's perfectly gift wrapped, and we're offering it to you. And we're not going to open it for you. And if you want it, take it, open it, use it, utilize it, make it part of your life, make your life better in the long run. That's about it. I thank you guys for your time and letting me, do this. I'm going to do this Ignite thing that the company's offering. So I'm really practicing more of my lives and turning this camera sideways so it's long. So I'm having a lot of fun, and so hopefully you guys will like some of my videos that I'm going to be posting. And for the Ignite campaign, I know that there's going to be voting on it later. I would love your feedback. I would love, if you voted for me and everything. There's like earning of airfare and the convention for free, which I already paid for both, and it would be just like I would get my money back, which would be fun. But I would go to the convention or any events that I was invited to, no matter what, because they're amazing. And I get to meet the coolest people and hang out with them, and I get to learn so much, and I get to plan my future. So you guys have a wonderful Thursday, and I'm going to try and post like once a day. That's my goal. So hopefully you guys can give me some feedback and give me some little hearts and everything as you see it. And if you're watching this on the playback and it's not live anymore, leave some comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, guys, have a good Thursday. Bye.